A Search in Vedic India, Chapter 3, Death Experiences. Ranganathan, who works at the AI Incorporation offices in India, came to the US concerning a project Albert was also working on. Working long hours on the project together, they became close. Ranganathan noticed that during the lunch and coffee breaks, Albert was always lost in thoughts. One day, he asked Albert, I noticed that you are brooding over something very often. May I know what it is that is gaining so much of your attention? Albert liked the way Ranganathan put his question and shared his details and the questions that were bothering him. Oh, you want to know more about death and what happens after death? He asked. Yeah, do you have any idea about it? Inquired Albert. I have no direct information, but I can refer you to a book that has some interesting details, replied Ranganathan. What is that book? Do you think it is available here? Inquired Albert anxiously. Boarders may have it. It is The English Teacher by R.K. Narayan, said Ranganathan. Albert thanked him for the information and that same evening went to Borders. He felt very happy finding the book in the store, bought it and started to read it immediately. He couldn't put it down and finished reading the entire book within a day. He found the details in the book to be intriguing. An English lecturer sees a girl near a street water tap collecting water. He instantly falls in love and wants to marry her. He meets the girl's father and expresses his wish, but the girl's father refuses the proposal and turns him away. But the teacher approaches the father again, insisting on marrying his daughter. The girl's father finally relents and tells him the reason behind his reluctance. According to the girl's horoscope, she will not live longer and as such he is not keen on getting her married. The English teacher, however, does not believe in horoscopes and eventually convinces the father. After the marriage, the teacher and his wife spent a few happy years. They have a beautiful daughter and all is well until the girl turns 5. With a growing kid, they wanted to move into a bigger house. During this age, the teacher's wife uses a nasty toilet, falls sick soon after returning from the trip. She dies without recovering from that illness, leaving the teacher and the child behind. After the wife dies, the teacher lives alone taking care of his child, spending most of the time in the memories of his late wife. One day, as he is returning home from the market, someone shoves a slip in his hand and walks away. On the slip, he finds a message. Your wife wants to contact you. Please come to this address. Though initially reluctant, curiosity takes him to the address on the slip. He reaches the house that turns out to be the residence of a lawyer. When the teacher shows him the slip, he confirms that it was he who sent that slip. The lawyer tells the teacher that one day, when he was about to write something on a paper, the pen started to move on its own, writing, Please do not stop. We are on the other side. Some departed people are trying to contact their relatives. We would like to access you as a medium. It started that day and since then have been giving different names to be called here so that they could communicate through me. Yesterday they gave your particulars and said that your wife Lakshmi wants to contact you. The advocate prepares himself for the communication session with Lakshmi through the medium. Through the medium, Lakshmi conveys that the teacher is unnecessarily worried about her and since she is very happy on the other side, he should live happily. The teacher, still in disbelief, tells the medium that he needs some proof to trust this message. He receives 2 pieces of information as verification. First, she tells him about an old suitcase in their bedroom with a secret compartment in the right corner where he would find the first gift the teacher gave to Lakshmi. The second was an incident that happened recently. The maid who is supposed to take care of their daughter went somewhere leaving the child alone. When the child starts to cry, she is taken care of by the neighbor until the maid returns. The teacher was asked to come back the following Friday after verifying the information. The teacher finds the ring he gave his wife as a first gift at the exact place she had said. The incident related to his daughter also was found to be accurate. Next Friday, he visits the advocate again and receives more communication through the medium. The teacher continues to be astonished at the information he receives. His wife tells him that they feel an inexplicable joy after leaving the body and do not wish to enter the body again. Unlike her husband, she is not worried about the physical separation between them and that she could directly understand the feelings and thoughts in his mind. She may not remain for long in the present domain and may leave for another domain. She asks him not to worry about her and gives a few suggestions on taking care of their daughter. After reading that book, Albert felt a bit better but was immediately worried as a thought crossed his mind. When he met Ranganathan the next day, he said, "Though it was a good read, it was only a novel and work of fiction." Ranganathan replied that the book's author R.K. Narayan in his autobiography stated that the novel English teacher was based on his real life events. His wife died after 5 years of their marriage, leaving a daughter. His daughter died in his 90th year. He quips in his characteristic way, "We are all in a queue, but she jumped the queue." Ranganathan then suggested Albert to view the narration of near-death experiences of Dr. Eben Alexander and Anita Moorjani on YouTube. Albert spent the whole of next week reading Proof of Heaven, written by Eben Alexander, on the internet and listened to the interviews given by him on YouTube. Alexander says that the experiences while in a coma and almost brain dead are after-death experiences. He says he was aware of the goings-on in the hospital room during that period. What he sees and listens to during that period makes very interesting reading. In the past, scientists have deemed these recollections of experiences as unscientific, as no one can have experiences in a brain-dead state. But since Alexander was a neurosurgeon himself, it was harder for his claims to be simply dismissed as false. Albert found that Anita Moorjani's near-death experience described in Rick Archer's interview was even more remarkable. After reviewing the two cases, he realized that those cases do not help his investigation. They were both near-death experiences with no real information about what happens after death. Also, the experiences of different people were so different from each other that it is difficult to draw any general conclusions. Even the case of the English teacher was an exceptional one and is not experienced by many. He mentioned this to Ranganathan in the office the next day. Instead of these cases that can be considered as individual experiences at best, he wondered whether there is a more fundamental explanation to all this. He said that Christian fathers do not believe in reincarnation, but on the judgment day, Jesus Christ would send people to either heaven or hell after death. Instead, he said that he had heard that Hindus believe that the same person is born again and again. He said that he wanted to investigate whether there could be any scientific or rational explanation for reincarnation or life after death, independent of any belief system. Ranganathan said that a Swamiji from Ramakrishna Mission was visiting Satyanarayana Swami temple in Santa Clara the next Sunday. He suggested that Albert should meet this Swamiji and discuss the subject. Albert told Ranganathan that he would meet Swamiji as suggested. On Sunday, he attended Swami Parameswarananda's lecture at Satyanarayana Swami temple premises. Swamiji was lecturing on Kenopanishad that day. Though the subject was interesting and he appeared scientific, Albert could not understand much of the content. After the lecture, Ranganathan introduced Albert to Swamiji. Albert and Swamiji discussed various topics for over an hour. Swamiji fully understood the issues Albert wanted to inquire about and concluded that only knowledgeable people living in India could give satisfactory responses to his questions. Swamiji volunteered to help with introduction letters to a few such people in case Albert decided to visit India. Swamiji asked Ranganathan to bring Albert to the San Francisco mission to collect the letters. Albert went to San Francisco along with Ranganathan. Steffi also accompanied him. Before giving the letters, Swamiji said, "The kind of information you are seeking is not something that could be obtained in an hour or half hour. You mentioned that you could not understand Bhagavad Gita when you read it on your own, and also found some contradictions on matters of reincarnation. Moreover, you want scientific explanations to your satisfaction without depending on any belief system. For that, you may have to equip yourself by visiting many places and many people. I will give introduction letters to two individuals who will prepare you and make you ready to understand the higher truths you are seeking. You may have to meet other people too, but follow the guidance from those two people. They will instruct you on whom to meet and when." On saying that, Swamiji had the letters prepared and handed over to Albert. When they were about to leave, Swamiji said, "Nowadays, several people from all over the world are visiting India in search of self knowledge. There is no doubt that there are great people in India who could reveal Vedic secrets not available anywhere else in the world, but taking advantage of the respect extended to the saffron color in India, many fake sadhus have emerged with the explicit purpose of making easy money or to enjoy a luxurious lifestyle at the expense of the true seekers. Unfortunately, many Westerners are duped easily by such sadhus. So, you should proceed carefully, keeping your objective in mind. I am sure then that you will succeed in your mission." After saying this, Swamiji blessed them when they offered respect in the Indian tradition. During the return, Steffi remarked that Albert should pay close attention to Swamiji's advice as it is coming from a place of experience. After applying for a leave of absence and making necessary travel arrangements, Albert, along with Steffi, met Father Francis and took his blessings. With still a month to depart for India, Albert attended a satsang on a friend's invitation. It was a gathering of around 100 people. A gentleman sat on the stage between two big photographs. The photographs belonged to that of a famous guru in India, Ramana Maharshi, and that of Papaji, a disciple of Ramana Maharshi. His friend introduced the gentleman on the stage as Muzi, a Jamaican by birth. Muzi spoke about self knowledge for a while, followed by some time for meditation and question answer sessions. His friend told him that they all follow the method of self inquiry as taught by Ramana Maharshi. He said that inquiry into oneself leads to self knowledge, which is not limited to the body. Albert did not understand the lecture much. After the satsang, he talked to a few members there and mentioned about his proposed visit to India. They all spoke very encouragingly to this effort and wished him success. After satsang, he also met Muzi and was very impressed with his sweet personality. Muzi said that Albert's decision was not accidental and destiny would take him to a guru to fulfill his ambition. Attending the satsang gave Albert a new sense of excitement, and the lurking doubt that his visit to India might be a waste has magically vanished. He was eagerly looking forward to his trip.